Hola Bafetu, it is your big homie Palo. Arubunga business Spane Bafet. Today we're going to be talking about procrastination in the workplace. Alright, so I know what procrastination is. I've been through it almost my entire life. I'm talking high school, tertiary, workplace, and I'm just going to break down my experiences and how I've been through procrastination and how I've sort of overcome it. So you can't completely, overcome procrastination, even though you can combat it wherever you can, especially for important tasks. So we're first going to break down the causes of procrastination. We're also going to break down what procrastination itself is, and then we're going to go into some of the solutions that you can have for your procrastination. So guys, before we start this, I want to start by saying that motivation is like underwear, right? You don't wear the same every day. So whatever you're going to hear today, this is just for today. Just like underwear, like you're wearing your underpants, it's today. Tomorrow you have to change it, you have to wash the yesterday's one, you're going to wear it again. So take this as today's motivation, which you'll come back to and learn some stuff, because that's how we get to improve as people. We have to learn, we have to force things into our head repeatedly for us to actually improve ourselves. So what causes procrastination? The number one cause, obviously, this is before it becomes a habit and before you're used to it. The number one cause is lack of motivation. All right, so normally if there's no immediate incentive, because we're a new generation, right? So what happens is, if there's no incentive to what we're doing, like if you go on social media and you post something, you get likes, your dopamine levels go all the way up and then they come down again. You post something else, you get your likes and everything. We're so used to that immediate gratification to a point where if things take too long to give us results, we end up just not being motivated enough for it. So let's say someone says, can you send this mail? It needs to be sent by tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Immediately, if you're a procrastinator, in your head you're going to say, I'll see this tomorrow at 10 and then maybe send it at 11, 11:30, or whenever, right? Whereas at that very moment, you can actually draft a mail, send it to the person who asked you to send it, and get their approval so you can send the mail. But usually we wait until tomorrow, right? Which is not what we're supposed to do. And the reason for that, as I had explained, is because we're used to immediate gratification, and when something won't yield any results immediately, we just wanna you're just gonna wanna put it away to the side for a few moments up until it's urgent, right? And that's what we shouldn't do. And this is normally caused by lack of motivation, right? And we need to change that mindset, but we're going to get to the solutions after. But we need to change that mindset of doing things to get something out, which is at the end of the day, you are still gonna send that mail. You're still gonna have to send that mail, right? And once the time comes, if there's that sense of, oh, I've done this is complete, it's no longer in my list of tasks that I still need to do. You're supposed to look at it like that. But anyway, lack of motivation is the major cause of procrastination. Right. Sometimes this lack of motivation is caused by not having clear instructions, and whenever you get a task, you need to be sure of what is expected of you, right? So in our example with the boss, speak to your boss. Hey, does this mail need to be like this? Then you know exactly what you need to do, right? And that at least gives you some motivation to actually do it, because you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, then it's gonna cause some lack of motivation, which in turn will then turn into procrastination. Cause number 2 would be poor time management. All right, so this is also a part of having a lot of tasks to do and then it's hard for you to pick which one is priority, and then suddenly while you finishing one, then the other one is already urgent. And poor time management causes procrastination because you can sit and not know what to start with and what to finish with, and then suddenly time is running, deadlines are approaching, but you're still thinking about which one to do first, which one is more important. And so you need to plan your tasks and incorporate the time it takes to complete each task. All right, so poor time management can cause procrastination, and you need to ensure that every time you need to do a task, think about the other tasks that you're supposed to do, which might hinder with what you're doing, and you'll then know that your time management is on point, and you're able. And while you planning and while you have deadlines and whatnot, communicate with people in your team to make them aware that you are busy with other things, and just so everyone is in alignment. Right, so just ensure that your time management is on point through communication and through your own planning. Another cause, or another set of causes for procrastination, would be psychological factors. Some are mental health issues, where some people actually do have OCD, for example. And if you have OCD, you might not finish your task. Like you'll be tasked with something that requires functionality, right? And your thing is functional, everything is on point, but you don't like how it looks. Let's say they said to you, hey, can you send us an Excel sheet? And then you're done with your sheet, you're done with your pivots, whatever, and when you look at it, you're like, hey, I don't like how this looks. And then you start rearranging everything, and then you're wasting time. So someone with OCD can run into something of that sort, right? So there are psychological factors. Sometimes something as simple as boredom, right, can cause you to procrastinate, where you're so bored, you're like, you know what, this sucks so much, I'm actually gonna relax. If I relax, that'll feel better than having to do this. And that's also a psychological factor. Other psychological factors would be anxiety and stress. If you're stressed, it's hard to actually cope and be productive. And when that happens, it can cause you to not want to do your work. Sometimes you just say, you know what, at the moment I'm not in the right mindset to do this, so let me do it later. That's procrastination. You've already postponed your work, and you might run into unforeseen issues later. And when that happens, then it's too late. So think about these things, and we'll talk about a solution to these stressful moments and anxiety and whatnot a bit later when we come to solutions. So why is procrastination messed up? It's because at the end of the day, it affects your quality of work, right? Your quality of work might be compromised due to procrastination, because some things might not be delivered. Your things might be delivered wrongly. Sometimes you might even come off as incompetent, or you have an attitude, or you don't want to work. It affects your reputation as an employee, or as a service delivery person, where you've been tasked, you have a business, you've been tasked with something, and you're procrastinating, then your quality of work is not as expected, and that is your reputation in your business at the end of the day. So that's one of the things that procrastination affects. Another thing, it also affects your speed of work, right? Like I said, if you keep doing things last minute, then it becomes something that you usually do, right? And whenever you do that, then you can't deliver on time, because you might run into problems, unforeseen circumstances, network issues. We live in a country where there's load shedding and network issues, right? If you plan to do things much later and you start trying to do them very quickly, then it obviously, trust me, a lot of times you're not gonna make it on time. And if you don't make it on time, what happens? Then now the project has to be delayed, or your task has to be delayed, your delivery. You have to now we have to extend your deadlines, all because you procrastinate. If you had done everything previously or on time, then you wouldn't have this thing where instead of delivering, now you have to add more time to, we have to allocate more time to you so that you complete what you need to complete. Ultimately, all of this then affects your increases, it affects your career growth. You'll be stuck in one place, all because of procrastination. It takes, trust me, it's not a 1 day thing or a 2 day thing or a 1 week thing. It builds up over time, and there comes a time when you seem like you are unproductive, you seem like you uncooperative, all because why you are procrastinating. And this could have been avoided through you finding solutions to your procrastination. And it doesn't have to be a solid solution. It can be just cutting it down and ensuring that you finish your tasks on time. Solution number 1 would be time management, right? Previously we just discussed the causes, and one of the causes was that if you have poor time management, then you are gonna procrastinate. So if you start managing your time, then it's gonna be easier for you to avoid procrastinating. How, you may ask? When you get a task, don't just take it as one task that's going to take 3 hours and then you're done. No, break it down, right? We can make an example with the email that we spoke about, right? If you get a message or someone instructs you, hey, send that email by tomorrow at 12, allocate time for getting the facts about how the email is supposed to be structured. And then once that is done, obviously you're going to have to move to drafting your mail and sending it out, right? So break your task into 3 parts. Getting information, part number 2, drafting the mail, part number 3 is sending it or scheduling it for a certain time, right? So then okay, I'm first going to seek approval. When you do that, that's going to take 30 minutes to an hour. Okay, good. That's 1 hour. Secondly, I'm going to draft the mail. That's going to take like 5 minutes. Okay, so now I have my time of 1 hour, 5 minutes. Schedule it, that's also another 5 minutes, 1 hour, 10 minutes. So this entire thing is going to take an hour and 10 minutes. Then you start your tasks, or you might want to start, if you're busy with something that is of higher priority, then you'll get to your mail later. But ensure that when you plan tasks, break them down and plan times for each segment of that task. All right, so we all know time management is difficult if you have a lot of things going on, but break everything down. Wherever you can, break things down. All right, but it also goes back to understanding what you need to do before you start planning that time. So always go back, find the right information. Once you get the information, you can start planning your times, or you can start working. I'm multitasking. I might need to let this one go for now. I'll record a bit later. Just kidding. That's how procrastination works sometimes. But you need to create an environment where communication is always efficient. You need to create an environment where you can hold yourself and people you work with accountable. And you also need to create an environment where there's regular feedback. Provide feedback and also expect feedback. Like if you're not getting anything, follow up. That gives a sense of comfort and support within your team. And when that happens, it's easier to do your tasks, and it sort of combats procrastination that way. And so it's all about creating that environment to ensure that you speak to the people. Let's stop this thing of trying to find faults in other people and then using that as a way to relax. Like, oh, let's go back to the email thing, right? Your boss just gives you a vague instruction, send that email, and you don't know what's going on. So normally what a person or an employee will do, they will go to other employees. Hey guys, you know what this person said? This person said I must send that, but they're not even giving proper instructions and whatnot. Let's not do that. Speak to the person and get the job done, because you're using ways of procrastinating through the next person's actions, whereas you can come up with a solution and say, hey, I don't know how to do this, or can you give me more information on how to do this, and then the work can proceed. But we do things just to procrastinate. You must understand that this is something that's in the mind, right? And your head will do anything it wants or anything it can do to prevent you from doing that job and procrastinate, so that you can relax and take it easy, right? So when you run into something like that, just communicate. Like I said, just create an environment that ensures that everyone is held accountable. If you feel like the information was not enough, go back, speak to the person, get the right information, and keep it going. Don't relax there and say, no, this is not enough information, I'll do it when they tell me. Then when they tell you, only to find that, oh damn, we have 1 hour left, but this is going to take you 3 hours. So create that sort of environment that allows you to combat procrastination through these various things, such as communication and being in alignment with everyone. Point number 3 is within yourself as a person. You need to be true to yourself. I know we spoke about accountability within a team, but you also need to hold yourself accountable. When you feel like you want to be lazy and do things later, you need to hold yourself accountable. That's the lazy side of yourself telling you, hey, no, you know what, if you relax, you'll be able to do that later. And when you're under pressure, that's when you can work better. That's literally, this is what I've heard from other people, where they can only work when they're under pressure, right? And we know that's a lie. You actually work better when you are nice and calm, right? But you feel like you are working, or rather you feel like you are more efficient when you are under pressure, but that's because your heart is racing and you feel like you're doing something, but that's not it. Just hold yourself accountable, do things on time, communicate with people, and ensure that whenever you are doing something, hold yourself accountable, right? Don't hold the next person accountable. And even if you do communicate with them, hold them accountable, but at the end of the day, you're the one who's supposed to initiate that contact. If it happens that you've tried to manage your time, you've been communicating efficiently, and nothing is working out, then the best way to go about it is to seek professional help, right? Hey, that's one thing. Hey, us Takis, we like, yo, this person is charging that much and I don't have medical aid. No, guys. Hey, listen, self-improvement, you're gonna pay that money initially. No one likes paying. You're gonna pay it, and obviously as time goes on, you're gonna see improvements in your whether it's anxiety, whether it's stress, whether it's depression or whatnot, these things that might be causing procrastination. If you speak to a professional, they might show you things or might teach you things about yourself that you don't know about, right? So yeah, Bafetu, as Takis, I don't know why we hate this thing of going for counseling and whatnot. You must go seek professional help if nothing is happening, or nothing is working for you, right? And it sucks. Sometimes it can be too expensive. Save up if you need to, but at the end of the day, it's self-improvement. You are improving yourself and you are being more valuable to people that you interact with. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. we all go to work, or we all have businesses so that we can have funds to allow us to live a better life, right? At the least, it's just to survive, but at the end of the day, it's about having a better life, right? And if you're gonna be working and going to work and not wanting to improve, it means you're gonna be stuck in the same place, and that's not what anyone wants, right? And for us to move forward, we need to actually put in some effort, right? And you must put in as much effort as you can, like as hard as you can, for as long as you can. And if nothing is working, then clearly there might need to be an intervention that comes from outside, be it professional help, be it people that are near you. But obviously the first thing that you'd have to do is ask people that are around you, okay, how can I improve this? How can I improve that? If you're still not getting answers, then go talk to someone. It's best to just go talk to someone who knows what they deal with these things a lot. They deal with these things on a much higher level and on a much detailed level and on a much overall level, right? So they know how the human mind works. They look at your case and see how they can, help you improve where you can improve. And sometimes you might even need medication. Who knows? You could be sitting here not knowing that you actually need medication to overcome your procrastination, which is caused by anxiety, depression, and any other mental health issues. Right. So like I had said previously, guys, this is just a video that you can come back to and take it as a refresher for your procrastination, right? And it doesn't, trust me, it's not going to cure in like a day or two, or no, it's an ongoing process for self-improvement. It's going to take a while. So I know as this new generation, we like this thing of wanting things fast. Hey, I did this, now I'm expecting this. That's how social media has actually wired our brains. It's wired when I'm saying our generation, I'm talking people from the 80s up until the 2000s, right? It's like we're so used to social media that you just jump on, you see something funny, that's immediate gratification, right? And we need to sort of unwire and unlearn that and know that things take time. Everything takes time, takes a while. So even with procrastination, it's not going to be something that you resolve quickly. It's going to take a while. It might even take years, who knows? All right. So like I always say, guys, knowledge is a powerful weapon. Arm yourself. Thanks for watching.